Super fly for the Dumbos. Plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean. About the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That you said you didn't never. I'm a step, no. Jackie Chan, no travel.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
No, check, Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this will get them all the way inside the Giants' 10. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 50 yards. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Watson. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now it's Watson. Pass incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I like the call. Inside the red zone running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Watson on third down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
New York set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's second down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, 42 yards. And the Giants have tied it here, and they can take the lead if they hit the PAT. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Tiger. Come back. Two jet.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tiger. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Richmond. Here we go. Check and look. Check the calls.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100, and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. They'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
Tiger. 4 down. Tiger.
After the interception, here's Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
The toss out to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else he did? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And this one is right through. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Come back, come back. That boy's got 4. Red, black 22. Black 22.
To throw on second is Watson. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Going to need something special here on third and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal?
Two jet.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Barkley already showing the ability to transform this Giant running game as they come up here on first down. Now Saquon Barkley, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Here's a give to Barkley. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. Back to throw here. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this Texans defense stands tall. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. Room to run past midfield. And finally down at the 36-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He's going to get it running right. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Captain Zero's kick is right through, and that will tie the score now at 9 apiece. Well, it's been a field goal extravaganza so far. That's 3 for him now, and it ties our game at 9-9.
I got a feeling the touchdowns are coming, though. Trust me on that one.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Watson on first down. Flushed out right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Now Watson looking to throw on second down. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
They'll give it to him up the middle, trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it third and goal. Here's Hines on a toss play, and they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will take the lead here at 12-9. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll look to throw here. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watching that Barney, Barney. Watching that Barney, Barney. Watching that Barney, Barney.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a toss play. It's Hines. Nifty move. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamal Adams, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And they'll run it here. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then in the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call him your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
New York set to take the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked picked off by Tavon Young. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Texans, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching.